Hello students, welcome back. In the last session we have discussed event handling in Swing application. In today's session we will create a Swing applet. We already know the difference between an applet and application. The last example program was an application program that included the main method and was executed by using Java interpreter, not by using a browser, Java enabled browser. But applets are executed by using Java enabled web browser. We have already studied applet in AWT. Swing applets are almost similar to the AWT's applet. So in today's session we will see how we can create a Swing applet. Let's start. Swing based applets are similar to AWT based applets, as I've said. Swing based applets are almost similar to the AWT based applet. The life cycle of Swing based applets, it is same as AWT based applets. A Swing applet extends JApplet rather than applet. In AWT, the applet class should extend a class that is applet, but in Swing, your class should extend a class called as JApplet. Only we have to add a J at the beginning. So that will become a Swing applet. JApplet is also derived from applet. Means JApplet is a subclass of applet class. So JApplet is inheriting applet again. JApplet is a top level Swing container. So as I've said, even applet is a top level container in AWT. Same way, even JApplet is a top level container in Java Swing. We know what is container. So container, it is the one which holds the other components. So even JApplet is a top level container. There are again lightweight container and top level container. Top level container cannot be added to any other container, whereas lightweight containers can be added to any other container. The GUI containment hierarchy always starts with top level container. So the first container should be a top level container. So JApplet is also a top level container. Okay, Swing applets use the same 4 lifecycle methods as described in applets or AWT's applet. So lifecycle methods of Swing applets are also same, that is init, start, stop and destroy. Applet always starts with a method, that is init method. This is the first method which is executed. Then the start method. Stop method can be used to pause the applet, and destroy method will destroy the applet, that will simply stop the applet. Apart from this, we have a method that is paint method, which can also be used in Java Swing. One more important thing about the applet in Swing is all interaction with components in a Swing applet must take place on event dispatching thread. That means, like applications, the GUI and event handling, it was on event dispatching thread. So GUI was created on event dispatching thread. Same way here for an applet as well. It should have all the interaction on the event dispatching thread. The components and the user interaction with the component should be on event dispatching thread. Okay, let us see how we can create a Swing applet with an example program. So what exactly we are going to create, I'll show you. Okay, we are going to create an applet like this. The applet will have 2 buttons and a label, like we did the last application program. The same we will again do it in applet as well. The same program you can see, but instead of application we are using here applet. Okay, so 2 buttons and a label. When you click on alpha, it should display alpha was pressed. When you click on beta, it should display beta was pressed. So let us start. To start the program, I'll open Notepad++. Okay, so I'll create a new file here. The program always starts with the import statement. So, import what we should import. As this is a swing based applet, we have to import swing package, that is java x dot swing dot star. Okay. Then a class, say swing applet demo, swing applet demo. As this is an applet, our class should extend to applet class, and it is not simply applet, it is JApplet, because it is swing based applet. So, the class name is JApplet, inherit JApplet. So, in the applet class, there are different lifecycle methods. To create a GUI, we will be using a lifecycle method, that is lifecycle method is init method. Okay. So, public void init. So, inside the init we have to create a GUI. So, to create a GUI, what things are required in the GUI? 2 buttons and a label. So, create a buttons. Button b1 is equals to new button. I will say this should have text alpha. Okay. We have to create one more button. Button b2 is equals to new button, and this is beta button. So, we have created 2 buttons. We will also create a label. New label, and initially the text of a label is click here. Okay. Now, one more thing is missing. Whatever components we have created, you can see we have created 2 buttons and a label. All these components are AWT's components, but here we are creating a swing applet. So, we have to add J before the component name. So, it is not button, it is J button. In swing, we have J button. So, this is also J button, and this is J label. Okay. So, all these components are swing components now. So, 3 components we have created now. Okay. So, let me save this. Okay. After creating, we have to also add the components on the container. For that, the method is add. I will add first button first, then B2 will add the second button, then we will add a label, that is L1. So, all the 3 components we have added. So, let us save this. I will save it in F drive, and the name is swing applet demo .java. The file has been saved. Let us compile this. I guess still we have created only the GUI, remember, still we have to handle events and other things. I will show you how the GUI looks. So, we have created the GUI, we will verify it, and again we will add the event handling code. So, to compile, I will open CMD first. Then we will move to the directory F where we have saved our program. Compile it by using Java C swing applet demo .java. Okay. So, press enter. Okay. There is one error, semicolon expected at line number 8. So, let us move to line number 8. Here semicolon is missing. Save it again, come back and compile. Okay, now the program has been compiled successfully. Now we have to execute it. See, this is an applet, so we cannot execute it directly. We have to use applet viewer to execute the program, but we cannot use applet viewer directly. We need to add the code. We need an HTML file. Applets are always embedded inside HTML. Without the HTML, we cannot execute the applet. So what you can do is you can create a separate HTML file, or you can add the HTML code in the same Java file, but it has to be added inside the comment tag. Okay, so we will be adding it inside the comment tag. So HTML code we will add HTML body. Inside the body, to embed applet, we have a tag called as applet. There are three important attributes. One is code, which is equals to the name of your program, that is swing applet demo. Then width and height. Width is equals to say 500. Height is equals to 500. Okay. Then we have to close the applet tag, and the other tags needs to be closed. Body is closed, and HTML. So this is how you can embed your applet inside the web page or inside the HTML. So save it. Now we'll go back and we will try to execute it. To execute, we have applet viewer space, the name of a file is swing applet demo and .java. Because we have saved it in Java file, so we have extension .java. If you create a separate HTML file, then the extension has to be of HTML file, that is .html. So press enter. Okay, there is an exception, you can see IO exception while reading f swing applet demo. So file name is wrong here, you can see swing applet we have written, but the name is swing applet. So while executing, it is swing applet. Okay, I'll press enter again. Okay, you can see the applet has been displayed, but there is some error, start applet not initialized. There is some error, and that error has been displayed here. So let us go through the error. What it is saying, swing applet is not public or has no public constructor. Class sun.applet.applet panel cannot access the member of class swing demo with modifiers blank. That means when we create an applet, there has to be at least one public class. We know this, right? When you create an applet, you should have at least one public class. So we have one class in this applet, so we have to declare that class as public. Okay. So after declaring it as public, again we will compile the program and execute it. Okay, now you can see it has been executed, but you can see it has displayed only click here. Other components are not visible. We have added 3 components, 2 buttons and a label, but only a label is visible and the other components are not visible. And the reason is the layout. Like in case of application, swing application, only one component was visible because the components were added one upon the other because of default layout. Even here the default layout, because of default layout, only one component is visible. In AWT, the default layout, I said it is flow layout, and because of that all the components are added sequentially one after the another, and you can see those components. But in swing application and applet, the default layout is different. It is the border layout where the components are added at the center one upon the other by default. So you have to change the layout of your applet here. How to change the layout? Simply we have to use a method called as set layout. Set layout. In bracket you send a new layout to it. I'll send new flow layout. So set flow layout. So the applet's layout has been set to a flow layout. So this is swing applet, remembered. So again I'll go back. Again we will compile the program. Okay, it is giving an error. Cannot find symbol flow layout. The symbol is flow layout. Why it is giving that error? Because we haven't imported one more package. The package is AWT, because flow layout belongs to AWT, not swing. So we have to import java.awt.star. Okay. So compile the program again. Okay, now you can see it is compiled. Let us execute. Okay, now we have our GUI, you can see, with two buttons and a label. But if I click on alpha and beta, nothing is happening because we haven't handled an event. So let us handle an event here. Now we already know how to handle an event. Event handling in application and applet, it is almost same. There is no difference in that. So to handle an event, we will register a listener. Again, on a button we have to handle means we have to register action listener. So add action listener, and we will be using anonymous inner class. So new action listener. We have studied about it in the last example program. New action listener. Inside this we have a closing bracket here. Inside this we should have a method public void action performed, which takes an argument of type action event. Okay. So we have this method. Now this action performed is executed whenever I click on B1. So inside this we have to add the content which we want to execute. So I'll say L1.setText in bracket. I'll say alpha was clicked. Okay, that's it. We have added a listener on button B1. Same way we have to add a listener on button B2. So I'll copy the same code. I'll paste it here. Now instead of button B1, we will make it as B2. And the message also I'll change. Instead of alpha, I'll say beta was pressed or beta was clicked. Okay. So that's it. We have added the event handling code to it, so that when I click on B1, it will display alpha was pressed, B2 beta was pressed. So let us save this and compile it again. Okay, when you try to compile again, there are two errors. It is saying action listener not found, cannot find symbol action listener. You can see an arrow here. It is showing in the symbol section action listener at line number 41 and line number 30. So action listener class, where it is? Action listener class belongs to an event package. So we have to even import an event package here. Import java.awt.event. Whenever you handle event, you have to import the event package as well. So event, and again if I compile it, it has got compiled successfully. Let us execute. You can see executed. If I click on alpha, you can see alpha was clicked, beta was clicked. So this is how we can create an applet, swing applet, and we can even handle events in swing applet. Okay. Now one more important thing here, as in the theory we have seen that the GUI in applet or all the component interaction and swing needs to be handled on event dispatching thread. But here in this example we haven't used event dispatching thread, we are executing everything on a single thread, but we have to execute the GUI and the user interaction on a event dispatching thread, like we did in case of last application, that is swing utilities we have used. Same way here also we have to use. So we have created a GUI inside the init method, you can say, right. So what we have to do is we have to execute this complete code, we have to execute inside the event dispatching thread. So we have to use the swing utilities here. For that purpose, what we will do is, instead of adding this complete code inside init, I'll just remove this code, I'll just cut it from init, and in the init I'll just add a function, say make GUI. I am calling a function make GUI, and this make GUI function I'll declare it here, make GUI, and inside the make GUI I'll add all our GUI code, which we have earlier we had added in the init method. So that code I have removed from init, and in the init I am calling make GUI, and in the make GUI all the code has been added. Why it has been added? I'll just show you. Basically it is the same, only the thing is, instead of adding this code in the init, I have just made a call from the init to make GUI, and the same code is executed again. Now why it has been done? Because we have to use here event dispatching thread. So how to use a event dispatching thread to create a GUI? Like in the last case, we have to use a class that is swing utilities dot. There are different methods of swing utilities. We have invoke and wait, we have invoke letter. In the last case we have used invoke letter. For applet we have to use invoke and wait. So we will having invoke, the method is invoke and wait. Inside this we have to send a thread object. So anonymously we will be creating that by using new runnable, and we have already studied about this in the last video. New runnable. So this has been closed. Okay. Inside this we should have a function, because we have a class here, some class xyz which is inheriting runnable interface. As it is inheriting runnable interface, it should provide a definition for public void run, which is compulsory. So inside the run, now we will call this function make GUI. Now what we are doing? We are calling make GUI from inside the run. Now other way would be this complete code we can add inside the run method, but that will be very difficult to read the code. That is the reason what we have done. We have added a code inside a function called as make GUI, and from inside the run we are calling the make GUI. That's it. Even without the swing utilities dot invoke and wait, or even without the thread, event dispatching thread, our program was executing properly without any problem. But it is suggested in swing application that we have to always create a GUI on the event dispatching thread, because for some application that may create the problems if you are not executing your application on event dispatching thread. Okay, and that is the reason we are executing it on the event dispatching thread. I have added the code. I'll just compile it and execute it. Stop, compile. Okay, there is an error, invalid method declaration, return type required. We haven't declared a return type for the method make GUI. So I'll just declare it. I'll make it as void. Okay, there is still one more error, unreported exception, interrupted exception must be caught or declared to be thrown. Okay, this simply means we have to add an exception block here. The exception block as it is saying unreported exception, interrupted exception, the code which we are executing, that is invoke and wait, this may cause an error or this may generate an exception. The exception is interrupted exception and this exception has to be handled from the code. So what we will do is in the code we will add try and catch block. For swing utilities we will add a try and catch block. So try open, and after all this code we will add a catch block. Catch, you can specifically handle interrupted exception or the generic exception, that is exception class can be used. Exception E. Okay, from inside if you want to print the exception, if there is any, you can print it. Okay, so we have even added the exception block. Now let us execute this. Now compiled successfully. So we will execute it. Okay, now we have the same GUI. And if I click on alpha, alpha was pressed, beta, beta was clicked. So this is how we can create a swing applet in Java Swing. Okay, with this we will stop here today. Thank you.